Good morning and welcome to the Microsoft Software and Systems Academy MSSA program brief for November of 2025. Our mission at Microsoft is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. At Microsoft Military Affairs, our mission is helping the military community find opportunities in today's digital economy. So MSSA program. The MSSA program overview. In a nutshell, MSSA offers transitioning service members and veterans technical and career skills needed for today's expanding technology industry. You choose from 3 technical learning paths based on your interests and career goals. The learning paths include 448 hours of in-class technical training and 147 hours of professional development instruction. The professional development instruction is preparation for interviewing and engaging with opportunities either within Microsoft or with our hiring partners. The program is fully funded by Microsoft, so there's no cost to the program. The day-to-day, it's a full-time commitment. This isn't a part-time program. It's 17 weeks, 120 days, and it is Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that's based on the time zone. So there's time zone starts. The time zones are either Pacific and Central, and you can select which one depending on which cohort you end up selecting. At this time, there's 15 participants per cohort. And then there is additional effort outside the classroom for keeping up and studying and learning the material. So MSSA by the numbers, since we've been delivering MSSA, our graduation rate is 94%, employed is 97%, employed in tech, 91%. We have Microsoft employee mentors, most of them prior service, many of them graduates of MSSA, and non-service connected folks that just want to give back to the community. We've had 4,231 graduates. We currently have 94 in class, 87 core military spouse, and 7 international. That's the current number. That breaks down the current 94 we have in class now. U.S. outcomes, it's the 44,160. Those percentages are there. 94% graduation rate, employed 97, employed in tech 91. We currently have 87 in class. International outcomes, so we do deliver this in Central European time. We started doing this, but since then we've had 71 graduates, 99% graduation rate, 96% employed, 89% employed in tech. We currently have 7 in the class. Corporate partners, these are companies that have hired from the program outside of Microsoft. We've had over 1,200 companies. With plus 10 grad hires, 45 companies. With plus 3 hires, 211. Microsoft hires 23 FT hires in fiscal year 25. Our fiscal year begins July 1st, and 7 intern hires. 2 of those interns were converted to full-time employment. So this is just a kind of a short list of roles that people end up in when they complete MSSA, and it's broken out by the learning path. So server and cloud administration includes system administrator, software engineer, network engineer. The cloud application development includes software engineer, application developer, .NET developer, and then our cybersecurity operations learning path includes cybersecurity operations analysts and cybersecurity engineer. And there's many, many more. Often, depending on what experience you bring to the program, can make a difference in where you end up when you complete the program. This breaks out kind of the day-by-day, week-by-week program. So when you're receiving the technical delivery, it's delivered Monday through Thursday, and then Friday is the professional development day. And then you have a full week dedicated professional development, which is week 9. So the days when you're receiving technical instruction begins at 8 a.m. in the morning, and then you have breaks and lunch obviously throughout the day, and then you have flex time in the afternoon, and then the full day on Friday of professional development. That week 9 that's dedicated to professional development, the full week, it's a kind of right in the middle of the program. It gives you a nice break from the technical learning. You have guest speakers, and mentors are very involved. You may have companies, or you do have companies come in and speak about their opportunities, and then also Microsoft recruiters or hiring managers will come in and talk about their opportunities as well. The professional development is delivered by what we call, the title is a career development manager. That's the Microsoft person who's with you throughout the full 17 weeks of the program. So program components, it's live, real-time virtual classroom. So it's an instructor who's on camera live delivering the program. You're not watching recorded content. They're certified, they're Microsoft certified trainers. There's hosted labs and lab challenges. You do personal projects and you have mock interviews as well. Provided learning resources, you'll get a Azure subscription, uh, a cloud environment to use while you're in the classroom. You get certification voucher to complete certification exams. Many of our cohort members end up completing, especially say the Azure Fundamentals certificate is kind of the primary one individuals complete, and then additional resources available, all depending on your learning path. So this just gives a breakout of kind of topics covered per learning path. So the server and cloud administration, that's network administration, if you can break it out and give it a different name. Those topics include like PowerShell, networking, Azure Intra ID, Azure administration, fundamentals and endpoint management, and then the certificate options. As I just mentioned, the Microsoft certified, the Azure fundamentals is kind of the basic foundational certificate for Azure cloud environment. And then the step up, the more advanced certificate is the Azure Administrator Associate. For our cloud application development learning path, which is software development, writing code, topics include programming in C#, data structures and algorithms, developing web apps, Azure Fundamentals, and Azure Development. Again, the Azure Fundamentals is the foundational certificate, and then Azure Developer Associates is the more advanced. Then for cybersecurity operations, topics include Windows Server Core Technologies, CompTIA, Security Plus, Azure Administration Endpoint Management, Azure Security Technologies, Security Operations, and Azure Intra ID. The fundamental foundational certificate is the Microsoft Certified Security Compliance and Identity Fundamentals. And then the more advanced is the Microsoft Security Operations Analyst. The certificates are not a prerequisite of the program. You do not have to complete a certificate to complete the program and, be considered for opportunities. Professional development, as we said, that's really preparing you for interviewing and begin to engage with Microsoft recruiters and recruiters from our corporate hiring partners. It's a custom curriculum. It's been developed by the military affairs team. There's resume review, interview preparation. You do LinkedIn work as well. The mentoring, these are Microsoft full-time employees, volunteers. There's typically 3 to 4, 4 to 5 mentors per cohort. And at least one of those mentors are a technical mentor, so they're versed in the content that you're learning, so they can contribute to that. And then insight into like day-to-day Microsoft work life. We have an MSSA job board. These are sort of the role search resources, and then corporate partner presentation. I said these corporate partners will come in and present their opportunities either on Friday, the ProDev Fridays, or during the full week of professional development. Alumni resources. So there is a private alumni group, invitation only group on LinkedIn, alumni job board, ongoing networking opportunities, special events, alumni mentoring. As we say on military affairs, once MSSA, always MSSA. If you took an opportunity at a company and you decided to leave that opportunity or you got let go, whatever the situation might be, our team, military affairs, will still will support you to find another opportunity, either within Microsoft or with other companies that are hiring from our program. So we're there to support you into the future. The application process. So you submit an application. There's an application window. It's 2-week application window. You just have to fill out the basic application. It's like 10 to 15 minutes. You give your basic info. When you complete that, you'll be contacted by an application manager as part of our operations team, and they provide you all the information and links for you to complete the prerequisites. And then there is what we call a documentation cutoff date. So you have to submit the required documentation. If you're active duty, of course, command approval, go through the transition or CSP or skill bridge program for whatever service you're in. Some bases may do things a bit different, so look into your particular base and what their procedures are. You have to satisfy the prerequisite learning requirements. Each one, it's a LinkedIn Tech certificate. Then there's an MSSA interview. The upcoming dates, so the next dates to be offered start April 1st and through July 31st. US and Europe, so we'll be offering in Central European time as well. That application window is coming up this month, so it's November 17th to December 1st. And then the materials cutoff, which is where you need to complete all your documentation and prerequisites, is January 26th. And then soon after that, if you complete it early, your interview, the rolling interview, so your interview will be conducted, soon after you completing all your materials. And then the next cohort start dates are in July, and it's US only, and it will be offering all three of the learning paths. Again, Central and Pacific times are the start times, and then the application window for that is in February 16th to March 2nd, and then material cutoff for that is April 27th, 2026. So the interview structure, so when you complete all your materials, you get everything on the material cutoff, you'll be scheduled for interview with two individuals on our military affairs team. 30-minute interview via Teams. It includes situational behavioral questions. Got to demonstrate motivation, passion for technology, career interests, ability to collaborate and work in challenging, diverse environments, interest in learning technical topics, and then there may be some questions, or there are questions on the comprehension of the topics that were covered in the prerequisite LinkedIn learning that you had to complete as a prerequisite for your learning path. So each LinkedIn, you'll receive a link to access that, and you'll be asked some questions about what you learned during that particular certificate process. This is a little bit more on the prerequisites, learning requirements. So this is for the server and cloud administration. It's the LinkedIn Learning Networking and Administration Fundamentals. And you can complete this anytime. Like, let's say you decided you want to, if you're eligible to be in MSSA like next July, for example, you can complete this next month if you wanted to. You don't have to wait when you're in the application window, as long as you can show that you completed it, and you can get the link up there. Other requirements: there's no certificates required or work experience. These are the interview topics: include networking tools, communication protocols, OSI, IP addressing, DNS, DHCP, firewalls, identity access management, Windows Server components. So the prerequisites for the cloud application development: it's a custom collection, so there is a MSSA collection server or a cloud application development. It's a custom LinkedIn learning path. Again, you'll access it and complete the fundamentals learning and certificate. Other certificates: the free code camp, the foundational C#, and then there's no work experience required for this. Topics include variables and data types, object-oriented programming using C#, classes, methods, and objects, inheritance, polymorphism, error handling, algorithms of data structure, and version control. And then for the cybersecurity operations learning path, again, there's a LinkedIn learning. It's Cybersecurity Fundamentals. There's the link to that LinkedIn learning path. Other requirements is a CompTIA Security Plus certificate, and you do have to have at least 1 year of work experience for this learning path in InfoSec, Security Operations Analyst, Security Operations Center, or Cyber Operations Center. Topics include the NIST, NICE framework, security development lifecycle, cyber attacks, network security, identity and access management, incident management, threat management, and security tools. So resources, here's some links to some of our resources. Also, I'll include this in the chat when we're done with the brief. You can send an email to our team, and you can receive this slide deck as well, so you can receive all these links. So MSSA graduate testimonials. There's a couple individuals here went through the programs. There's some just kind of really interesting stories. And then as you're applying to MSSA, there's a Tech Transition Toolkit. questions to ask yourself on career change. There's a YouTube video, how to get LinkedIn for veterans so you get free premium LinkedIn, and then 5 tips for an amazing interview. And then for if you don't get into MSSA for whatever reason, these some other pathways into Microsoft or other programs or SkillBridge opportunities. So we're a participant in the Hiring Our Heroes Corporate Fellowship Program. So there's a link there. You do apply for the fellowship program through Hiring Our Heroes, and then we go through all the folks that are in each cohort, and we're hosting currently about 40 to 50 fellows each cohort. There's 3 cohorts per year. We also have a military data center program where those of you that have either maybe mechanical, electrical, HVAC, that sort of trades background, or you're interested in that, this is another SkillBridge program, and it leads to opportunities at Microsoft data centers across the country. And the roles are called critical infrastructure roles. And there's also a inventory and supply management positions within the data centers as well, and then network administration if you have that background. And then we do have a program, MSSA, for military spouses. And then if you're a student completing your degree, then you can connect with our university recruiting teams. And then if you just want to apply directly to roles, just go to Microsoft's career site. We do have it mentions here about cleared and non-cleared roles. Microsoft does have a number of roles that require a security clearance, and TSSCI is kind of the baseline, and then you go higher from there. CI or CI Poly, there's a number of pretty high levels security clearances for some of these roles, primarily for our DoD and federal government business. So stay up to date. You can monitor our website. It's aka.ms/MSSA. Explore the frequently asked questions, again, aka.ms/MSSA-FAQs. And then the email, it's MSSA ops, OPS, at Microsoft.com. If you have any questions, if you want to request a slide deck, you can email the ops team and they'll answer your questions or provide you this brief. And it's military.microsoft.com is the URL for our website. And then our social pages, we're on LinkedIn at Microsoft Military Affairs, on YouTube, Facebook, and on X as well. So that's the end of the brief.